Good morning and welcome back to PJ, his daughter. It's early morning here and I've been thinking about the people in Houston, Texas. As a result of Hurricane Harvey, they've lost everything and they're now in their greatest period of need. The challenge doesn't come right when the storm's coming in because you're in your flight or fight mode. But the challenge comes whenever we see the results, the destruction that's left behind, and we're left to pick up the pieces. And so the people of Houston are in that time of need. The basic necessities of life are real needs in their life, for water, for shelter. Perhaps most of them, they don't even have a mode of transportation because they've lost their cars in the flood. My heart is really heavy for them, but you know, in every storm, there is still hope. And in this storm, the joy that we can take away is what I see in the love and compassion being shown to the people of Houston. A huge outpouring. People from all over the countries, churches, Christians, gathering together to go down and to provide the basic necessities needed. You can see and read many stories on media, on Facebook and various places of these people who are feeling that compassion and feeling moved by the Spirit of God to go down and to help out. Something I wished I were at liberty to do myself. It is such a wonderful feeling to be able to give into the life of another. I remember the times whenever I didn't have the opportunity to give, but I was on the receiving end. And sometimes when we're on the receiving end, that's the most difficult place to be in, because you are relying on the compassion and the consideration of others to give to your life. It takes humility. It takes being humble enough to open up and to receive what God has for you, the gifts that He is trying to give into your life. I remember a time in my life when I was a single mom with 3 kids, and we had just been evicted from a little house in the backwoods of nowhere, and I was standing outside with my 3 little kids and wondering what in the world was I going to do. I did not have a car, and so I didn't have a phone, and so I couldn't contact anyone to come and help me. My little kids had met some people that lived a ways down the country road, as they say, and down a lane, and they remembered where the bus stopped to let these kids off. And so they encouraged me to walk down into this area to see if we could find help. I was really not wanting to. I don't know what I expected. Maybe I expected just an angel to come out of heaven and to help us out, to get us to help. But we did walk down. I had to do something, and that was to be humble and to walk down to ask for help. And I went down the lane, and there was a community of people down there. And actually it was the old slave quarters. And the slave quarters had been deeded to these families when they were set free eons ago. And so the land was theirs. And so I was a little apprehensive, although I knew a lot of people in the area. But you know, as soon as I walked down there, there were people coming out on their porches. I guess I looked a little odd walking down with 3 little ducklings behind me. And immediately, compassion came out of the lives of a few of those people. And one in particular, a man, an older man, gentleman, came out and said, "Is there something wrong? Can I help you?" And at that point, I lost it and broke down. And through my tears, I was trying to share what was going on in my life. And these were humble people of humble means. But that elderly gentleman put us in his truck, and he drove us to my mother's house. And I'll forever be indebted to him. And he did that out of compassion. And he was kindly on the drive and assuring me and giving me words of encouragement that everything would be all right if I could just believe that. And he was right. So I think of the people of Houston faced with such chaos and challenge, but I want to say in words of encouragement, even though it looks like everything around you is destroyed, there's hope and compassion. And God sees you, and He is sending those to you if you can humble yourself to receive what He is giving to you. And for those who are giving, I'd like to read this from Luke chapter 6, 36 through 38. Be compassionate as your Father is compassionate. Do not judge, and you will not be judged yourselves. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned yourselves. Grant pardon, and you will be pardoned. Give, and there will be gifts for you. Full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap, because the amount you measure out is the amount you will be given back. What a wonderful word. And we're not talking about just physical things. Maybe you don't have physical things to give out or money to give out. Or maybe you can't even make the trip to help out. But you can, out of your heart, give encouragement to someone. And sometimes that's what's needed. And if you give out of your compassionate heart encouragement to others, when you're in need of encouragement and compassion, you will receive. And not just receive a little, but full measure. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. Thank you for sharing this time with me, and God bless you.